Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Give Me Back My Action Movies, the podcast. I am one of your hosts, Dan, and with me, as always, your other host,
Charlie
Chase. What's up, Charlie?
Oh, not a whole lot, brother. I'm pumped for this episode. I'm just gonna go ahead and get
I
that out of here.
I know you are. I know you are. So, this one is coming out the week of April 1st, which happens to be two particular days for me at least. The 1st of April is my brother Lester's birthday. I would say happy birthday, but he's not listening.
Yep.
And the other day is April Fool's Day.
You're
Charlie,
missing a
back
you're
uh,
missing a
uh,
third one.
third. What else? What was the other? What was the
There's
other?
a
There's
third one.
another. There's another day that's important to Charlie
It
more than
is.
anybody.
Yeah.
It's almost like it's a birthday of some sort.
It is. It is.
Charlie, would you like to fill everybody in?
I would like to just go ahead and wish my lovely wife a happy birthday on April 1st. Also, her sister, because not many people know it, but my wife is a twin.
Well, it
Um,
is April Fool's Day for a reason.
yep, her mom got
I'll
it big
just,
time.
I'll just let that one go.
Nope, but happy
Uh,
birthday to my wife, happy birthday to Lester. It is April Fool's Day. Um, we're probably a couple.
Happy birthday, sis. Happy birthday, Lester. Happy birthday, Julie.
Yep, and we're doing an April Fool's Day special. You know,
Back to back holiday episodes.
well, it worked out. It's exactly 2 weeks from the St. Patrick's Day, which just worked out to be a holiday. So why not do one more kind of fun, just movie that fits April Fool's Day in my mind. And it didn't take any, a little bit of arm twisting to get you to agree to this one as well.
Yeah. I ended up watching this. So, Charlie, why don't you go ahead and let everyone know the clue? The clues have been dropped.
Yes, I have dropped clues every day leading up to the episode. Um and they weren't easy. They were just random posts
Yeah.
of movies that pertain to Hot Shots Part 2.
That's right. Hot Shots Part 2. So we dropped the hints. We had a post asking people if they wanted to know, and no one really seemed to want to know. So we did the clue post instead.
Yeah, I think
Hot
people
Shots Part 2.
People really took to that. I was surprised. I don't think one person voted for wanting to know the episode ahead of time.
I don't think so either. Um, so we're gonna do Hot Shots Part 2. Charlie loves this movie. I watched part of it once, and really the problem I had with it was I think it was a little too much, or maybe I watched it in that phase where I thought I didn't want goofy comedy anymore or something. I don't know. So I didn't really watch the whole thing originally. I did watch it for this episode, and I have to admit it was a lot better than I remembered it being.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It was Dan trying to come up with a couple of other movies to do instead of this one. And
Yeah, I
honestly,
did.
that was kind of hard. You're trying to go, and he even made the argument for the first Hot Shots. And I'm like,
Right.
it's more of a spoof on Top Gun,
Hmm.
and there's two schools of thought that either Top Gun's an action movie or Top Gun is a chick flick with jets in it. And I lean
That's another conversation for another day,
that
as we
is,
spoke earlier offline. But yeah,
but because this one is straight up a spoof off of Rambo and
oh, so many things.
Terminator. We'll get into like as many as we can count as we go. But
There's a lot of connections. Yes,
this one fits the show to a T. It's 1994, if I'm right. So we're right in
93, 93.
93. So I was a little early.
Hmm.
It fits right in what we're talking about, and I love this movie. I watched Hot Shots Part 2 before I saw the original Hot Shots, and it was on. It had to have been like HBO or one of those movie channels,
Hmm.
and Dad was not huge on comedies, but he appreciated, a decent funny one.
Right.
He was the kind of guy that hated Dumb and Dumber, but he'll watch, some of the old 80s comedies, like Animal House or something like that, and those were
Uh-huh.
funnier to him. But we
Oh,
watched
yeah, me too, but yeah.
yeah, we watched this one together because it's Charlie Sheen as Rambo, essentially. We both loved it, and I this movie has been countless the amount of times I've seen it. I can almost recite it word for word. Um, I watched it 3 times before we did the show just because I could.
I know, yeah, every time you'd send me a screenshot, you're like, "Look what I'm watching," and it was always Hot Shots Part 2. Every damn time you watched it, it seems like. Now, with it being April Fools, I would be remiss if I didn't, play I gotta play a quick clip, and this pretty much sums up. Alright, I'm just being an idiot.
Yep, yep.
I had to try to do
He
something
he
silly.
tried to rickroll everybody, but,
I tried to do something silly.
you made the attempt,
Hey,
sir. Bravo.
I'm an idiot. All right,
You're fine.
so Hot Shot. I'm a moron. So Hot Shots Part Two came out May 23rd, 1993, and based on its numbers was okay. Based on its U.S. numbers was a flop. However, the worldwide gross made people lots of money. So
Oh, yeah.
the budget was 25 million for this, and all these numbers obviously estimated. 25 million estimated. Opening weekend was only 10,250,000.
Ouch.
So yeah, that had to suck real big.
Ouch.
Now, the US gross though was 38,922,972. So it made its money back in the
Yeah.
US, but where it really hit the home run, and I'm going to assume with this goofy comedy, it was maybe France because of their love of Jerry Lewis and slapstick. But the cumulative worldwide gross was $133,752,825. So
Wow.
somebody at 20th Century Fox was really happy to cash those big old checks. Runtime of only 86 minutes, so it is a quick watch.
It's fast. It
So
goes through fast.
for those of you that have not seen it, you can check it out. It's pretty quick. And again, I went into arguing with Charlie about how this whole hour was going to be me just bagging on the film, but I have to admit I did laugh a few times. There are some actors that were included in it that I didn't remember were included in it and really enjoyed. And we can get to that a little bit later in the second segment here. But
Yeah.
you know what, Charlie, you had me on it. I have to give you credit on this one. I enjoyed it much more than I thought I would. Now I remember the first one. I remember watching the first one, and I remember a lot more of the bits in that one. Um, the only problem with this one is sometimes I felt like after I watched a bit, I kind of forgot the bit. It was a little forgettable. But then we're starting before we started shooting or doing the pod tonight. You started doing lines, and I started doing them back to you. So
Yeah.
they were there somewhere. Um,
I'll go
But and then
ahead.
the last thing I'll say real quick,
Yeah, go
this
ahead.
was directed by Jim Abrahams. So for those of you that were a little like me and a little like, I looked up Jim Abrahams. He also writer and producer known for Airplane and Top Secret. So you got to give it a shot. I really think you got to give it a shot because, you know, those movies alone gave it some credence to me anyway.
I'll make one suggestion to people that when they watch this is a movie that's better watched with a group of people. I can watch it by myself because I freaking think it's hilarious and I love it. But I could see that if you got a group of, people together drinking a few beers, you will laugh almost uncontrollably at some of these things because sometimes
Yeah,
it
you don't
just
have to be
comes out of
hammered to
nowhere.
enjoy it, but
No,
it helps.
no, you don't. This isn't the good beer bad movie because
Heat,
this isn't a bad movie.
heat.
Um, but yeah, I grew up watching the Airplane movies, and I grew up watching Monty Python, Benny Hill, Mr. Bean. I watched this kind of like European comedy that kind of bled over into this parody kind of genre, and I loved it. I mean, it's gotten a little silly in later times. Like the first Scary Movie is probably the only one I really consider a good parody movie. The other ones just really went off the wall bonkers. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, my favorite silly slapsticky parody movie is probably UHF by Weird Al, which I love Weird Al and I love that stuff so much. When Charlie mentioned this to me and I went, "No," he went, "What are you talking about, you moron? This is right up your alley." And
yeah.
honestly, like you said, it ended up being a lot better than I remembered watching it. So I don't know if it was just because I was older. I don't know, but I enjoyed it. So if you haven't watched it, give it a shot. Charlie, why don't you give them a quick synopsis of the movie itself,
Okay.
and let's see what you can do here with the old synopsarunski here.
Well, this one's going to be a little odd because it's going to sound like I'm giving the synopsis of about 5 different movies. And
Well,
essentially that's what I'm doing. I'm going to be giving you a synopsis of essentially 5 movies clumped together. It's
yeah,
fun.
it's pretty wild, folks.
I will say this, you loved UHF, and one of my arguments to you was, didn't Weird Al dress up like Rambo in that movie and essentially do the same thing we're seeing in this one?
Rambo 2, he went and had to rescue Stanley Spadowski from the evil news stations. Yeah,
Yes.
he did.
So I was prepared to argue this movie, so that's we'll set that up right
Oh,
now.
you didn't have to. It wasn't too bad. It wasn't too
No,
bad. So,
no. But all right,
all right,
I
Charlie,
will
ready?
we're gonna
You ready?
yep,
You ready?
we're
You
gonna
ready?
do it.
You ready?
All right.
Go.
That, all right, that's enough. Stop it. All right, we're gonna start out the movie with Navy SEALs infiltrating Saddam Hussein's house.
Well, he's never. Is he ever really referred to as Saddam Hussein,
Yes,
or is he just always referred to as a terrorist warlord?
no, he is called
Is he?
Saddam Hussein directly by the president.
Okay, okay. Because I remember in a lot of it, it just says terrorist warlord. But okay, go ahead.
Well, and a
Sorry to
lot of the
derail you
stuff.
once.
No, you're fine. We're just starting. This is great. This is the April Fool's episode. There's no
Well,
rules
that's why
today.
I'm here.
That's it. So we follow along with Navy SEALs trying to capture and or kill Saddam Hussein in his house. Uh, if it fails miserably and the SEALs get captured, we cut to uh, Colonel Troutman. Although he's not Colonel Troutman, it's Richard Crenna, and he and a CIA agent go to find Topper Harley from Hot Shots, the first movie. And Topper is fighting in a well, not stick fight. Stick fight's what they're parodying in Rambo Part 3. This is more kickboxer because they wrap their hands in twine and then uh they dip the Charlie Sheen dips his hands in caramel, then into M&Ms, and then the crowd chants uh gummy bear sprinkle, gummy bear sprinkle. They're split 50-50 because he's trying to decide, and he dips them
It's
all.
set up. Yeah, it's set up like a big ice cream do your own Sunday
Yeah,
thing.
it's set up
Yeah.
like an ice cream bar, and initially dips them into the sprinkles and raises his hands up like they did in Kickboxer with Van Damme, and the crowd goes wild. And we get to watch the most insane kickboxing match with my boy Gerald. Was it Oka? I don't want to mess up his
Uh,
last name.
yeah, because he'll wail on you if you mess it up
He
too bad.
will. He actually will. He's
That's why
pretty
I'm not even going
active.
to try it.
He's active on Facebook, and I don't want to make him mad at me. Uh, this is a horrible synopsis. I am sorry, everybody.
It's the April Fool's episode.
It
So
is.
while you're looking up the pronunciation to get it right, that kickboxing scene, like you said, and he dips the hands. They both dip their hands into stuff, and he comes up with the sprinkles. There were M&Ms, there were gummy bears, there were sprinkles, and I think there were like chopped Oreos or
There was
sandwich
like
cookies of some
cookies,
sort in there.
cookies
Yeah,
crushed up.
yeah, yeah.
Uh,
So yeah, the sprinkles. I mean, that's where you go. You always go with rainbow sprinkles,
you do.
obviously.
Gerald Akamura. So, Gerald, hopefully I pronounced that right. Please don't get mad at me.
If not, that was Charlie that butchered that. Wail on him, not me.
Yeah, please don't. Uh, so we get to watch this fight back and forth. It ensues in hilarity. We'll go ahead and point out this is very monumental for the show right now. Our very own Al Leong, even in a half a second clip, has made his first appearance in the show for us.
Yes, this is the first movie that we reviewed with Al Leong, even though from the very beginning, his spirit has been an integral part of this program. We finally get to an Al Leong film
Well,
ish.
Al Leong was there. Uh, to the point you have to know when to pay attention to see him fall from the second story, and it's really you just go, "Hey, that's Ali Young's head," and it falls down. So that's what we get. But hey, our patron saint Ali Young is in the movie. So we finish up the fight. Topper Harley wins. We'll dig into that a little bit more later. Uh, the Colonel tracks him down, and Topper Harley's staying at a monastery, just like a la Rambo 3, where he's helping the monks, giving them money. Uh, they tell him that there's been, several not attacks, several missions into to try and capture Saddam. They've all failed, and that he's the best that's left, and they need his help. And
Just like
honestly,
our podcast, the best that's left.
I'm struggling. Um, but he turns them down, says, I'm not gonna do it, and the colonel, well, I'm just gonna keep calling him Troutman. Um, Troutman says, "I'm going in," same thing as in Rambo 3. They go onto their mission, and they get captured too, and now he's being held hostage. They tell Topper Harley that, "Hey, your friend's being held hostage." So, of course, they put a team together, and he agrees to go in and save the day. Then we get met into we jump into Rambo 2. So we go on to a
Yep.
military
Yep.
base, and they meet the crew that they're going to fly and parachute in. We then get Predator because everyone's prepping themselves for the infiltration. They're putting on the black face makeup. One guy hands it to the black guy, and we get the side eye like, uh, really, bro? So everything that happened in Predator happened right there. They go down, try to meet with their contact. And lo and behold, the contact is the girl Ramada from the very first movie that Charlie Sheen fell in love with. And they do several flashbacks where they're just kind of lost contact with each other. She left and blah. So she leads them in to the prisoner camp. Um, I'm skipping over a lot because I don't want to wait too long
Yeah,
on this
no, no,
synopsis.
no, yeah. Just do a quick little. Yep,
I wanna
yep,
dig into some of these scenes a little bit better. So,
yeah, absolutely. Hmm.
we're jump right into where they're going in to, save Troutman. Uh, More hilarity ensues, probably a handful of our favorite lines happen throughout this. So we get a mix of Rambo 2 and Predator on the attack on the base in that movie. So we get those 2 movies meshed together. Then they Charlie Sheen has to go save what was Dexter's job? Was he
He was okay. So he was like a consultant, but it's because he was a diplomat and an inventor he invented the artificial pancreas, I think they
Oh,
said.
that's what it was. Yeah.
But he was more or less like a diplomat, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so he goes in ultimately to save him. He gets kinda sidetracked by Saddam Hussein. Another fight of hilarity ensues. The president comes in as a, Navy SEAL. He's in full wetsuit and takes over the fight with Saddam as Charlie Sheen saves, uh, Dexter. And basically, the president kicks Saddam's butt. We got to dig into that. This is a hard movie. The synopsis,
It
you
is
know,
okay.
it is. This is
The
really hard to do. So
the
let's,
president, by the way, is Lloyd Bridges.
yeah,
So if you've watched the first one, Charlie Sheen is Topper again. Lloyd Bridges is still Tug Benson, but now instead of being the admiral, he's now the president.
yeah. He went
And
from
then, of
Navy
course, we
admiral
have
to this.
Ramada back as well. So those are the three crossovers from the first one, right? I
Saddam
think
is a crossover because they kill him at the end of the first one, and he
they
comes
drop a
back.
bomb in his lap. Yeah,
Something like that,
yeah.
but it's the
Hmm.
same actor playing the same character, and actually Ryan Stiles was in the first movie,
That's
but
right. He was.
he's not playing the same named character.
No,
Um,
that's right.
so those are our main carryovers from the first movie. So anyway, we're gonna just say they got to the end, happy ending. Let's just break this down into our favorite scenes and why this movie's awesome.
All right, let's take a quick break then, and we will regroup a little bit here. When we come back, we will talk about a little bit about the actors that played these roles, some of the favorite scenes. We'll play a couple of clips from the movie as well, and we will just kind of break things down, like we said, and finish it all off with the Alliangs. That's about it. Happy April Fools, everyone. Hold on a second. We're going to play this commercial, which is me, and we'll be back in about 30 seconds or so. Hey everyone, me again. I just wanted to let you know real quick that I also co-host another podcast, a weekly podcast called the Noka News Network.
I'm Ricky. I also co-host the Noka News Network podcast with you, Dan.
I know you snuck in here on this one, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Everyone, we appreciate everybody listening to Give Me Back My Action Movies, obviously. But if you'd like to listen to news that no one cares about, then check us out at Noka News Network. Ricky, where can they find us?
We're on Spotify. We're on Apple Music. Or iTunes podcasts.
Whatever it's called.
However that works.
And you can check us out on Facebook as well. And you can always email us over at newsroom@nokanews.com. And check us out over there. We're having a good time, Ricky.
That's true. We're posting the podcast to our YouTube channel too. So if you'd rather watch it that way, it's over there. Just search Noka News Network.
And enjoy the news that no one cares about.
It's a good time. I promise.
All right, everyone, welcome and thanks for sticking with us here as we continue on with Hot Shots Part D. I think that's how you say it, right?
I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
that's
Yeah. Hot Shots Part 2, of course. The April Fool's episode of Give Me Back My Action Movies. And the first segment, we talked a little bit about a kind of a quick breakdown synopsis. And we talked about a few of the actors in this. Charlie Sheen, obviously reprising Topper Harley. Lloyd Bridges as Tuck Benson. Valerie Golino as Ramada. Richard Crenna. So his character's name is Colonel Denton Walters
yeah,
instead of Troutman.
Colonel Troutman.
It's Troutman, yeah.
He is literally reprising the role of Troutman.
Right. So, Brenda, is it Baki, Bakke, is Bach.
Yeah.
She's in it. So here's the thing that's funny, and we're getting to this bit here at towards the end of the episode, towards the end of the movie. But she plays Michelle Rodham Huddleston.
Mm-hmm.
Ramada's name is Ramada Rodman Heyman.
Rodham,
right?
Rodham.
Well, yeah, the way it's written out, Rodham. So yeah, so both their middle names is Rodham. So that's kind of wild. So one of the people that I was surprised to see in this movie was Miguel Ferrer, and he's in it pretty early on, but he is like the main SEAL that has gone in every time to try to do the rescues.
Yeah, he's been like the only survivor to escape.
Right. So, and a lot of you will know him from RoboCop.
Yep.
Same dude from RoboCop, right?
He is the guy that actually was running that division of the RoboCop. So it
Of
wasn't
OCP, right?
Yeah, it wasn't Dick Jones. He played the other business guy. Can't think of his name
Right.
now.
I know it's yeah, but so when I saw him, I was like, whoa, okay, that's pretty awesome.
He's got
Kind of a cool cameo.
that look. It's like when you see him, it's like I know who that dude is.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you
Absolutely.
touched on real quick since you actually said their middle names. every female character that has a name in this movie, their middle name is Rodham. And it's because that was Hillary Rodham Clinton was our first lady during this movie.
Oh yeah, I did
So
notice that now. Yeah, you're right.
they
I'm looking at the IMDb and the cast list. You're right. That's
yeah,
awesome.
so the president's wife is middle name Rodham. Saddam's wife, middle name Rodham. Every female character had the middle name Rodham.
All
That's
right,
that's just
that's
the little
wild. Actually,
things that
that's
pop
kind
up
of
in
cool.
this movie, and it's so this is the way I look at these kind of movies. I definitely didn't go into this taking it serious. I knew what I was
No,
getting when
God,
I
no,
watched
no, no,
this.
no, no.
This you expect the insane. You get these Looney Tune moments, like quite literally Looney Tune moments. They play the music, they do all that stuff. They're not even hiding it. They don't hide anything.
No, they're really in your face going, this movie is just a farce for sure.
And they treat the source material with respect still though. While they're poking fun at the over the topness of action movies, especially with Rambo and especially Rambo 3, which is why I think they kind of went more in that direction. Just the over the top, like Charlie Sheen actually worked out constantly to do this movie.
He is
Um,
tore up in this
he
movie,
is
man.
ripped,
Yeah, he's
and
jacked up pretty good.
there was an interview with him where he goes, "I had to do that." He goes, "I could do the movie like I did the first one. I didn't need to be cut." He goes, "But to sit in the premiere around all these people laughing at me up on screen, and all you see is skinny me and basically a singlet tank top." He goes, "I couldn't do that." He goes, "I wanted to portray an action hero." And dude, he nails it. He nails it. And it's even funnier is um, Richard Crenna actually went to Sylvester Stallone and told him, "Hey, they're doing this movie. It's going to kind of spoof pretty hard on Rambo. They want me kind of being the Troutman character." And Stallone's like, That's awesome. That's fantastic." And then after this movie came out, I want to say, like a year or two, Stallone was getting interviewed, and they go, and this obviously is after all three Rambo movies. They were like, "So, what's the prospect of you doing Rambo 4?" And he actually goes, "Well, I think that somebody needs to go talk to Charlie Sheen about that. I think he'd do a better job." And you're just like, he really, and he even there's a scene, um, where he's just firing off the gun like Rambo does, in every movie, and just
The
goes insane.
M60 belt fed,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's buried in shells. The boat has sunk around him, so he's on this little, like, mountain of empty casings that there's no way the gun fired that many, and it's just fire back and forth, and then he just goes and he just brings in this Sylvester Stallone Rambo kinda noise, and it goes like this. The facial expression, everything, and they slow it down so you see, like, the muscles every time he fires.
He's
It
got the face,
Oh,
the
yeah, he's
face.
got, like,
It's hilarious.
the lip that's curled up, the whole, I'm Sylvester Stallone," and he just goes in this,
Hey, that's pretty good, man.
I like, "Thank you, I
Yeah,
worked
that's
on that
pretty good.
really hard." I worked on that harder than I did the synopsis. Uh,
Yes.
um, but no, when he has the long hair, just like
Mhm.
Stallone did
Yeah.
in the movies,
Oh, yeah, and he does the red bandana thing and
he
everything.
has
He kinda looks like Stallone in this.
he does the little necklace thing, which is a throwback to Rambo 2 that the girl gave him, the little
The
jade,
jade.
but it's
Mhm.
not jade, it's just this little thing. Um, and you really get that vibe with the boat scene. And so they've met up with Ramada. She is the contact, and he didn't
Mhm.
know that. So they're kind of having their little back and forth about why she left and all these things. And they're sitting on this boat, and he's got the knife out, the Rambo knife, and
He pokes a hole in the boat and starts shooting water out of
he
the deck because he popped a hole in it,
he
yeah.
digs
And
at the deck, and it just
yeah, I mean, and it's not hitting water, but yeah, it was a pretty good
it's a
bit.
good
And the
gag.
knife is huge. It's dude.
Well, earlier he's drinking a pop and he cracks the top of the pop with the knife and then flips the tip of the butt end of it and a straw comes out. So he's drinking a tab soda through the knife in a straw. That's how much of a, survival knife that was.
Yeah, yeah, that one's pretty good. So, you were talking about he's on the boat talking with her and stuff, and
Yeah.
as he's talking on the boat, it's really cool because he's taking down like his memoirs. He's
Yeah,
writing
he's
his
writing
journal.
down his thoughts. So you get like this internal monologue.
Mm-hmm.
And while he's doing that, you start hearing another voice over top of his monologue. And the camera pans over to a PT boat, from the Vietnam era, and you get Martin Sheen standing on the rail of the boat looking at this file, and he's reading this dossier, and he is saying the lines from Apocalypse Now, from the
Mm-hmm.
character he actually
Mm-hmm.
played in that movie. Charlie Sheen, it turns out, is actually reading the lines from Platoon. So they're saying the two lines. Well, the boats are getting ready to cross, and they look at each other, and they both stand up, and then they go, "I loved you in Wall Street." I love that part.
It's so good, and they both thumbs up each other like,
Yeah,
yeah,
they pass each other
it's
and they
so
thumbs up.
good, dude.
Little father son moment. I love that, man.
Yeah,
It's
that's really good. So that was a really good scene. I like that quite a bit. Want to backtrack a little bit. We're jumping all over the place because that's kind
we're
of how this
gonna.
movie really
That's
is.
how this movie is.
But at the beginning, you were talking about how the first rescue attempt, they go in and try to rescue these hostages, and as the SEAL teams are preparing, team one's going to hit the house, team two's going to hit the prison camp.
Hmm.
Um, they keep showing what Saddam is doing in the house, and Saddam's getting ready for bed.
I love
So
that.
Saddam, he he goes and makes himself a sandwich for the next day for his little lunchbox, and for some reason, watching him get out the mayonnaise and make this little sandwich just cracked me up. It popped me really hard. I started laughing my ass off at that. But as he's doing that, and he's getting he gets ready, he gets in bed, and eats like a couple little cookies and stuff, and he puts his little mask on and claps the lights out or whatever when before this raid occurs. But um, and then of course it goes wrong, and these guys get captured as well. But
Yeah,
just the visual of Saddam just going through the house and
he's in a
he's making his
nightgown. He's
yeah,
like
he's
it.
making his sandwich and stuff. It's
He's
ridiculous.
in his bedclothes, and this is the beauty of this movie. It's like you can watch this movie, but you really, if you enjoy it, watch it a couple more times because what you'll see is like in the fridge when he's getting stuff out, the milk says 2% camel milk. Everything has this like I don't want to be disrespectful, but whatever his region of the
Kind of a Middle Eastern
middle,
flair
there
to
you
it.
go. That's the safe word. So everything
Yeah,
has this Middle Eastern flavor to it, and
like he has a TV dinner that says Nomad, Hungry
hungry,
Nomad instead of
hungry
Hungry Man.
nomad.
Yeah,
Uh,
a lot of things like that, little nods. I mean, again, this was made in '93, so
the
not as socially conscious now.
the political correctness
Yeah,
was a little
yeah, it
looser.
was a little
Um,
off for sure in this movie. There's a few
yeah,
scenes, yeah.
doubtful they could do this movie now.
It, yeah, I mean, there's just some things in it for sure.
No, but
Yeah.
that whole segment with that, and that's just the hilarity of it because at the end of that he gets woken up and he's like sleeping with two automatic pistols that seem to never
Yeah.
run out of ammo, and he still has the eye thing on,
Blindfold on.
the
Yep,
blindfold,
yep.
and he can't. So he's just spinning around his house. Fun fact: did that house look familiar to you?
Yes.
That is Tony Montana's house from
I was
Scarface.
wondering if that was the Scarface house.
It has the
When I
whole
watched
like,
that, because the balcony scene
yep,
that when he fights him and the president and stuff later on, that balcony scene, everything looked very familiar to me. Yeah.
yeah, the
So
whole
that was
like
Scarface's house.
the staircase that wraps around that goes
Yeah.
up one side, down the other. That is the house that they filmed Scarface in.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's just little fun little things like
Little
that.
thing like that. So that scene was really good. Um, when he meets, like you were saying, he gets recruited in by the CIA. This lady that's in the CIA and Richard Crenna, they go to him to the monastery where he's working, and
Oh
he's
my god.
basically making a wagon wheel that they end up putting on the car on this
Okay.
red sports car.
Let me
I'm sure you know what kind of car it is.
yeah. Well, let me do this because I just told you that
It's
I
probably like a
caught
Fiero or something.
I caught something I have missed every time I've watched this
Yep,
movie.
yep. You told me
So
about that.
if if anybody's seen Rambo 3, he's pounding out some of this like metal for the roof. Well, they kind of play on that. So Charlie Sheen is at like a blacksmith anvil and he's pounding away and there's sparks flying up. Well, when Richard Crenna and them come up and talk to him, he walks away from it. He sets everything down and leaning up against the anvil is this wagon wheel. And so he picks that up like they did in Rambo because he's fixing one of the wagons. He walks over and puts it on a Mercedes. There's a red Mercedes sitting there, and you even hear the impact gun like. Zoot, 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 zoot. I finally quit
That
looking at.
was as good as your Rambo impression, by
Thank
the
you.
way. Yeah.
I am channeling Michael Winslow. So I got that name right. So what I
There's he won't whip your ass at least. That's
Yeah.
good.
So what I did was I quit focusing on the car because there's so much stuff that happens in the background of this movie. Well, you see this stack of like VHS players and cassette players, and there's one sitting on the anvil. So what it is he was blacksmithing and fixing VCRs and radios on an anvil with a hammer. I mean, that's just the absurdity
Just ridiculous.
and I've missed that every time because it's like now I'm trying to find everything. That leads into a whole nother thing where Richard Crenna takes him and he does the talk like he did in Rambo, where he's
Hmm.
talking about the sculptor with the stone and how they chipped away. Well, Richard Crenna's telling him the story of the three little bears and the porridge, which is silly and it's funny, but if you pay attention in the background, they make a comment that the monks have never seen a woman in decades. And, you've got this leggy blonde walking around in a skirt. Well, in the background, she's sitting there with her little notepad, and all the monks are coming up one by one. Like one guy's a bodybuilder, so he's like flexing his muscles and doing all the poses. Another guy has a little dog dancing, and they're all just trying to, like, impress her or woo her all while they're telling the story of the three little bears. So you're
Yeah.
trying to figure out what is going
You're trying
on.
to pay attention to that, but in the background, it's just this nonsense going on.
And then they turn a corner and there's some guy in a flannel shirt stapling insulation to the wall, and it's Bob Vila. Bob Vila goes, "This is going to save you a ton of money on your energy bills. And if you'd like to come back later, we're going to be caulking the portico or something like that up at the top." And Charlie Sheen just goes, "Thanks, Bob." Just out of nowhere, Bob
What
Vila
what
himself.
what grade insulation was that, Charlie?
I wanna say it was probably like R13 or maybe even R19. So, I
It
mean,
was yeah. I think it was Corning
oh, it was
batted
definitely
R13.
Corning. It was
Yeah,
batted, but,
it was batted. So
he's got the staple gun and everything, and it pans out, and it is Bob Vila. So,
there, uh, anyone wants to one day we'll go live and we're told the story of Charlie and I in the attic with R13 batted insulation. Yeah,
so many
that was
stories, so many
that was
stories.
a really sucky couple of days.
Yeah, and to end
Yeah,
out
yeah.
to end out the monastery scene, they are, Charlie Sheen tells them no, so they're going out the gate. Well, they're talking still back and forth, and as the gate closes, all the monks are like pressed up against it, and they're holding signs. And one's like, "Please don't leave." And another guy, I had to point out to Jackie because I convinced her to watch it with me. I'm like, "Read that sign." She goes, "What does that say?" I said, "It says celibacy sucks." And this guy is holding this huge banner like you'd see at a ball game, and it says celibacy sucks. I lost it. There's not. I've watched this movie so many times I can still laugh. I still laugh at this movie pretty regularly. I watch this movie more than 2 or 3 times a year. Literally, this is
Sheesh.
this is a comfort movie for me because I don't need to pay attention to it. I know what's going on, but I laugh and I enjoy it every time I see it. This is up there. This is for a comedy action, it doesn't get better.
You really like this movie.
I do.
So after they convince him and he goes on the mission, like you said, he's met up with Miguel Ferrer, his character, Ryan Stiles, and
Yep.
another gentleman who I should give credit where credit's due. Let me hit my IMDb here real quick, and Michael Colyar, Colyar. Um, and they're the ones that go on this mission, like Charlie was saying, Predator style, kind of how they're introducing them all,
Oh, it's straight up
and
Predator.
so they go on this mission, and they go to rescue Troutman,
Troutman.
essentially Richard
Richard
Crenna.
Crenna.
Yeah, so they go to rescue them, and like Charlie was saying, they play up the Stallone electrocution scenes
This
from Rambo.
this was from Rambo 2. So they mesh Rambo 3 and 2 a lot. So you get the stripped down bed springs that are up against that they electrified in
Yeah,
Rambo 2.
does everyone remember bed springs instead of now they're all space age memory foam stuff?
I have bed
Remember?
springs.
Yeah, me too. So
Then why are you like it's this weird thing?
because some
We're
people,
poor.
because it's insane now that beds are made out of memory foam and peeps. So I just wanted to make a commentary on
and
that. Really,
and purple stuff apparently.
yeah, you can smash an egg on it, I guess.
I just know the Sasquatches from those commercials. So
I've never really smashed an egg on my bed.
never had the opportunity.
Mm,
Oh well.
I guess I could
So
do it now.
no, let's just go ahead and get to the part you're getting ready to talk about.
Okay, they are torturing Krenna, and they're electrocuting him and stuff, and the guy's like the guy running the camp doing the execution realizes that he's not going to break him,
Yeah.
essentially. So this is the dialogue there.
I see you're no stranger to pain.
I've been married. Twice.
Wait.
So, yeah. So that scene's in there. I'm just gonna let that one go.
Well,
That,
I mean, it is
so
funny.
obviously, yeah, and it's one of those classic. Take my wife, please, and
Yeah.
the whole classic marriage joke type of stuff in there. I found it pretty funny. I've been married twice. So I've always said it's pretty funny because I grew up on that old style Benny Goodman and Ronnie Dangerfield and all these types of
Oh yeah.
comics that would always have the relationship comedy. So to me, it kind of was one of them classic easy hitters. I kind of really enjoyed.
Well, it gave that moment of that this terrorist could relate to the American. You know, it's like
Yeah,
I've been
yeah.
married twice. Ooh,
Yeah,
that
and
hurts.
everyone was like, ah.
Yeah.
So they go and proceed to raid this camp at this point, and there's some other bits in there, but
Oh my god.
the one bit that people probably know is Charlie Sheen is trying to shoot the guy with the bow and arrow, a la Stallone Rambo.
Yep.
And every time every time he looses an arrow, the guy like bends down and picks something up, and it hits the door behind him.
Okay,
Or he turns to the side and it hits the door behind him again.
let me set this scene up here because again, something else I noticed, and I didn't get a chance to talk to
It
you
turns
about
out
this
to be
yet.
one of the dumbest things in the movie.
So they're attacking the camp, and we do get the Rambo bow. And if you remember in 2 and 3, he had those explosive tips, and it's kind of iconic in those movies. Well, what dawned on me this time was when Charlie Sheen's putting that first tip on the arrow, and it's the squeakiest metal on metal sound, and I'm like, I get the joke, but then it dawns on me, I'm like, oh, in the Rambo movies, when he actually put the explosive tip on it, they made this sound effect that was kind of like a zzz, and it was almost like how it armed. And every time he fired one of the explosive tip ones, it made that sound. I know this because I also watched Rambo 3 right after I watched this because I double prepared for this movie and I wanted to make sure I was right. And they do
You're
make
such an overachiever.
I love these movies. But they make a sound effect. So they're actually poking fun twice at the fact that they made a sound effect for Rambo's, tip on his arrow, and
Rambo's tip,
Charlie
huh?
Sheen's doing it and it's the squeaky, is irritating noise as it's playing.
So after he does all that and he misses with all of his arrows,
Every one of
the,
them. There's
the
like
guy
10.
finally realizes he's getting shot at. He goes to shoot with his machine gun, and the only possible armament that he can find for his bow and arrow is a chicken.
Yep.
Yes,
Oh my
he
god.
straightens out a chicken and fires a chicken from a bow into this dude's chest and kills him, which by itself is ridiculous. And I was okay with it. And here I think this is a prime example of what I had an issue with the movie. The chicken kills a guy, falls over, dies, hilarious, fine, good. And then the chicken drops an egg. And I'm
While
like,
crowing.
yeah, crowing inside this dude. And I'm like, they took the joke, the funny, and then beat it to death. And I know something about doing that because I do that often. But
You do that a lot.
here's my favorite part of that whole rescue scene, though. And it's Ryan Stiles is supposed to be the explosives expert. So he grabs this bazooka and he goes to bazooka. He's going to go bazooka this camp. And he comes right up on the dude, like right behind him. And I'm like, oh my, okay, this will be good.
He
Here,
knocks on the
do
door.
something. He knocks on the door.
He
The
knocks
guy
on the
opens the
door.
door and he pulls the trigger of it, and a big punching glove on a spring arm shoots out and hits the guy in the head, punches him in the face. And then he gets a guy out of a tower. He shoots the punching glove out of the bazooka and hits the guy in the tower. That was pretty good because I didn't expect that. That was pretty funny. He finally does hit a guy with the bazooka, I believe, and splats him against the wall. No, that was
No,
Crenna
that's
with
later.
that was Crenna with the shotgun, right? The street sweeper.
That was the grenade launcher that
Yeah,
he picks up.
and splats him or
I,
whatever.
I
So,
want I
but
want to say
the Styles man with the bazooka, I was like, oh, he's going to blow a hole in the guy or blow him up or scatter him or something, and it's just this boxing glove goes like Joker style and
But
punches this dude in the face.
let me point this out to you though.
That I liked.
Is on that same thing with that, punching, boxing glove thing. They have it throughout the movie. They're carrying that thing with
Oh
them.
yeah,
When they jump off the boat before it blows up, the one guy has it. They get off the boat, they pick it back up. They are prepping you for this joke because they don't want it to just happen to be there, which it would be, I guess, unbelievable. That
yeah.
it was,
No, they made a good job of. I guess maybe that's why my anticipation was that they're going to blow this guy up in some kind of hilarious way of blowing him up. Instead of just the boxing glove went and got this dude. So to me, I was like, all right, that was a good setup and a good bit. I appreciated that bit.
Yeah. No, that bit was, I like that one and the banana
got
bit,
me.
which is pretty close to that one, where the
Yeah.
guy's peeling a banana and the guy like scares him. So he tries to stab him with the banana and they're fighting back and forth like it's a knife until Ryan Stiles bites it and then punches the dude and then inexplicably picks up a gun that has the two fingers attached to the end of it and Three Stooges the guy in the face. That's the level
like a
movie we're
bayonet,
talking about right now. That is the level of movie. If everything we've talked about till now sounded normal, normalcy went out the window at these.
Well, I think when
these last
Saddam
few
made a
scenes.
sandwich, that probably did it. But
Hey, Saddam has made a sandwich, sir. There's
that
no
does
way
get
he hasn't.
ridiculous. That's true. Now that got ridiculous. They end up saving everyone in the camp essentially.
Yeah.
But so Miguel Ferreira, the whole time, Sheen thinks he's a traitor, basically.
Yeah,
and come to find out, he's just a coward. He's had enough of killing and fighting, so now he's kind of, I don't want to say shell shocked, but he's kind of like I've had enough of it. I can't do it. I'm hiding here behind these barrels.
Well, he's ran from every battle leading up to this. He's always hiding somewhere. And to the point where Charlie Sheen, they mention in the movie kind of passing that there is a saboteur in the program. And Charlie Sheen really starts thinking it's Miguel Ferreira's character and even confronts him about it. And finally,
well, that's why the president ends up deciding to hell with it. I'm going myself.
Yeah, during all of this,
the 70-year-old president.
During all of this, Lloyd Bridges is on his way Navy SEAL wise, which we haven't mentioned yet. Lloyd Bridges is a throwback to last episode. he was also in Blown Away. He was
That's true.
Max.
That's right. That's
So
right.
we've gone from Forrest Whitaker in Bloodsport to Forrest Whitaker in Blown Away, and Lloyd Bridges in Blown Away to Lloyd Bridges in Hot Shots Part 2. Not
Now
that
we're
we're
not
going to keep
saying that.
doing that.
Yeah, that's not saying that there's a going bit here, but there
It's funny
might
to
be a.
point. It's
Yeah,
funny to point it out.
it's
Um,
possible.
so yeah, Lloyd Bridges is going Navy SEALs scuba diving to the rescue. But anyway, yeah, Charlie Sheen and Miguel Ferrer finally have it out about Charlie Sheen thinking he's the saboteur, and to turn out, Miguel's just crying. He's just like, I can't kill anymore. I just can't do it. I don't have it in me anymore. And it just goes into this whole big back and forth with Charlie Sheen. Like, it's okay, man. You're all right. Hey there, big guy, buck up. And he gives him like this inspirational speech. And then Miguel Ferrer is like, thanks, Topper. You've given me a reason to kill again. And it's just so he goes, I guess we'll use the phrase, he literally goes Rambo for the rest of the movie. He's
Hmm.
blowing dudes away. He's like, there'd be a scene happening, and all of a sudden he'd pop up shooting people, and then it gets me every time.
War. It's fantastic.
Oh, I played it too quick. Oh,
You
I'll play
played
it
it too
again. Ready?
quick. Yep.
Here we go.
War. It's fantastic.
He just gets done blowing people away and pops up and does war. It's fantastic. And it's just
And
like,
he has the dumbest grin on his face. He's so happy for it. It's hilarious.
he is so happy. And
It's so good.
it still gets me every time I watch it. That's probably one of my favorite lines and scenes in the movie is that one right
So
there.
as they're yes. Now I'll get to one of my favorite lines in it. We tried to find the audio and couldn't.
No.
You brought it up. They're going to go get this helipad. They're going to this helipad to get this helicopter and fly out and save everybody. Even though they got like probably presumably 60 people with them. So they're going to the helicopter and Topper says, I have to go rescue this other agent that's there. And it's
He goes
come to
after
find
Dexter.
out Dexter. Come to find out it's Ramada's husband. She was married to him the whole time, but he was presumed dead. And that's why she kind of ran away from Topper at the beginning of this movie, and they hadn't seen each
Yeah.
other and such. So he goes to save him, and they're like, "You can't, Topper. You're the only person that knows how to get to the helicopter." And they're like, "No, go up there. They know where it is." Blah blah blah, kind of thing. And he says, "They say we're wait 15 minutes for you." And he's like, "Well, if I don't show up, you know what to do." And they're like, "That's right. Get the hell out of here." He goes, "No, wait another 15 minutes."
Yeah.
And it's so delivery's so good, a lot better than what I just butchered. But it's really funny because, like Charlie and we were talking before we started, it's that trope of get the hell out of here, save yourselves, I'll figure out a way.
Don't wait
And
on me.
Topper's like, the hell with that. You better wait another 15 minutes for this whole ball game here. So that line was actually pretty funny.
I
So
like that one.
he goes to save Dexter after looking at a Disney World map, essentially, of the whole area. He goes to rescue Dexter and ends up at Saddam's house. And Saddam catches him, and he and Saddam start fighting. They use like fire pokers, basically, and really kind of parody Robin Hood, the Errol Flynn Robin Hood
Well, they start with swords
fight.
first.
Swords, yes. They pull the swords off.
They
and
pull
then
the
they
swords
fight.
off the shield and they fight.
That's what it is, yes. And Saddam, the actor that played him, did such a good job.
Oh, my God.
He's got a line that he tells him that cracks me up, too. Here it is.
Now I will kill you until you die from it. In a pig's ear.
Oh, there in a pig's ear. And then at the end there, we hear the president, Lloyd Bridges, has shown up after all of the swimming and swimming to get there.
Yeah.
Presumably he swam across the Atlantic to get here. And he's now going to fight Saddam himself. So he basically sends him off.
He sends Charlie Sheen, Topper Harley off to
go rescue Dexter, and he's going to fight Saddam himself at this point.
Yeah.
And at this point, too, that's when they have the fire pokers, and they turn into lightsabers. So they do the whole Darth Vader, Obi-Wan Kenobi,
Yeah.
your weak old man
Well,
bit, which is
Saddam's even
really pretty
doing
good.
the Darth Vader voice. So it is you and me, old man. And then all of a sudden he starts coughing and he pulls out an asthma inhaler and
His Primatine, yeah.
his Primatine mist and he sucks it in and then all right, old man. And he just goes right back into the Saddam Hussein voice.
Yeah, and the voice Charlie, that was pretty good. You're on voices tonight, man.
I'm on it.
You're on it.
I
So
just
he
can't do
does that.
synopsis.
Yeah, you can do voices, just can't do synopsis. So he's talking to Lloyd Bridges. Lloyd Bridges is an old Navy man, so he has a pretty good line in there too. Charlie loves this one. So here's this.
We'll settle this the old Navy way. First guy to die, loses.
That's like my second favorite line. It's you just like that is such a thing for Lloyd Bridges to say.
Is so good because I mean, if you've seen the first one, he's a bumbling idiot. In this one, he's a bumbling idiot.
Oh, he is.
But he still resorts back to that Navy. I'm a Navy man, thing.
And it's that type of comedy that just I don't know what it is. It rings in my ear, and it's hilarious. There's a whole scene, and again, we've skipped over a ton of funny stuff.
Yeah, it's yeah.
But there's one where they're at a dinner, and Topper Harley's getting ready to, say hello to the president, and he reaches his hand out, and he goes, "President Benson," and Lloyd Bridges goes, "No, you're not. I've met the man. He's an older gentleman, And he's like, "No, sir, I'm Topper Harley." He goes, "Oh, yeah, just like the son I never had. Hey, don't go around introducing yourself as the president, man. That's not good. I wouldn't do it. You shouldn't do it." And it's just
he's the president.
It's that level of insanity in this movie. My wife's rolling her eyes at. Now, I will say she has chuckled more than once during this movie, but I can hear the eye roll half the time when something's up there.
There's some ridiculousness to this. There's a lot of dad joke type of vibes from some of the puns. Real pun heavy, this
it's
movie
very
is.
Pun heavy. Now, and I'm not a huge fan of puns. Now, look, I'm not saying every joke is my favorite joke. There's some of this stuff that you're right. It either goes a little too far or it's way too silly. But overall, this movie
there's enough in it.
Yeah.
And honestly, when we get to the rating time of the program, the next part to me earned its own Alliong for this movie, because when he finally gets to Dexter is played by none other than Rowan Atkinson. And if you don't know who Rowan Atkinson is, turn off the podcast, burn your computer, and never listen again, because Rowan Atkinson is Mr. Bean.
Mr. Bean.
So he plays this character, and he's hilarious in it. And he's like, I'm going to spit in your face. And he's like, I'm here to save you. He goes, "Oh, you're an American." And he goes, "Yes, from America." So essentially, there's a whole thing between him and Charlie Sheen where he's like, let's get out of here. And he goes, "I can't walk." And he's like, "Oh no, they like broke his legs or something." And he's like, "They've tied my shoes together."
They tied my shoelaces together. And Charlie Sheen looks down and goes, "A knot. Bastards." Just as deadpan as you can get.
And Rowan Atkinson plays it so good. The look on his face, he's so distraught. He's like, "I can't go," and because they tied his shoelaces together. So he's got him over his shoulder in a fireman's carrier as he's leaving out, and he gets shot in the leg and he kills the guy or whatever. And Rowan Atkinson's like, "Yeah, you bastards, you can't kill us," But as he's getting ready to leave, there's this whole bit here. I love it. I love Rowan Atkinson so much. So this whole bit here, as he's got him on his shoulder and they're trying to escape the dungeon of Saddam's palace.
Wait, I can't go any further. I need a drink. Okay, right a bit. Whoa, stop. Stop there. Down a bit. There. Yeah, it's not very cold. Is this filtered?
So I guess I should have prefaced it. He's on his shoulder, and there's a water fountain in the hallway.
There's a water fountain.
They just walk out the door, and he's like, "I can't go any further. I'm thirsty." And he looks at this water fountain, and he's trying to get him to he's talking him into getting him down in a position to where he could drink it, and it's not very cold. It's just filtered, and he's all pissed off because
Let me say,
crappy.
you
It's
know,
crappy high school water fountain, basically, and it's just.
when
Rowan Atkinson's so good,
when
man.
I watched this movie for the first time, my only introduction to Rowan Atkinson was Mr. Bean. And if you grew up watching that, he didn't talk. He never said a word.
Well,
So,
he did.
well,
He
remember,
would say he would say his name is Mr. Bean. He'd be like, "Hello, I'm Bean," and he would say Teddy because
that's
it
right.
was
He would
Teddy
say
Bear.
Teddy.
But that's it. Yeah, he's
That's
like
it.
Tom and Jerry. He basically
So,
wouldn't say anything. So, yeah,
as a kid, this came out in '93, so I was probably 14 or 15. The perfect age for this movie, by the way.
yeah, probably so. Yeah,
I heard Rowan Atkinson talk like that's his actual voice for the most part. I'm sure it was played up a tad, but I'm sitting there going, Mr. Bean, that's what he sounds like normal? It's such a shock, but it makes it that much funnier. It's just seeing this guy that you're used to being almost like probably one of the most famous mimes, really, if you think about how his old show was. He did it all with like body movements
a lot of
and
it was very body heavy, very physical comedy
very
heavy.
physical
Yeah.
comedy, and then seeing, he actually talks. He's kind of an asshole in this. He's very
Oh
self-centered.
yeah, he's
It,
just kidding.
he's only concerned about once he's rescued is what talk show I'm good. And this is '93. I want to do Donahue. I want to do that Sally Jesse
Sally
Raphael.
Jesse,
Oh, who's the black chick? And they go, Oprah.
Oprah.
So again, this movie can't be made
Oh,
now, but
yeah. But here's the best part about the Oprah when they go Oprah, and he goes, "Yeah, okay, we'll do hers too."
yeah, her
Like he
too.
didn't care that Oprah was the nobody out of the Donahue and Sally Jesse references, and
Well,
now
that's
Oprah,
right.
obviously, now we all know because yeah, she started off kind of like a Jerry Springer type of show,
Yeah.
doing really outlandish story stuff, and now it's
Then
Oprah.
now she is who she is. I mean, that
Yeah,
we
yeah,
don't
now
need
it's
to
Oprah.
yeah, but
But
that's the kind of
yeah,
history this movie was. So when you're watching it, I mean, yeah, okay, if you were born late '90s or, anytime after, a lot of this is going to go over your head.
yeah,
So
Nate, I don't know if you're going to get all this, buddy.
I Anthony hasn't watched this yet. It's on the list, but there's so many movies that he needs to watch first.
He won't appreciate it.
He won't, but he would probably appreciate. So, say like I let him watch
Some of the basic
Rambo's.
physical comedy he would get, but he wouldn't
Yeah,
appreciate all the nuance.
no, none of the nuances, but he would laugh at the fact that it's Rambo. He would laugh at the fact that
Sure.
it's, and when we've even passed over. This is going to be another one of the hints I dropped. For what this movie was. This is considered the bloodiest movie ever. It's more bloody than RoboCop and Total Recall combined. And they have this body
Yes.
counter during the big fight, and it just keeps flashing up on the screen where it goes, more kills than RoboCop. And then you hear like the slot machine music, more kills than Total Recall. And then at the very end, it goes, bloodiest movie ever. And it's like, I love that. It's
Yeah,
just that.
it's pretty ridiculous.
So
Hot Shots Part 2. I enjoyed it more than I thought I would. Yeah, it ended up being all right, man. It ended up being pretty good. Of course, they all escape except Rowan Atkinson, who falls off a cliff because he's trying to take a picture of Charlie Sheen and Ramada.
yeah, they had to get rid of
Uh,
him, and then we find out that the CIA chick is actually the saboteur, the traitor,
yeah,
because she was trying to get to. Oh, we have forgotten your second favorite part of this movie that you even messaged me on. So first, you messaged me about Mr. Bean is in this. That gets an
yep,
Al Leong.
yep.
And then there is an American Gladiator scene of the two
Forgot, yeah.
girls. So the two girls are like cat fighting and they're chasing each other. And all of a sudden they're running up the backwards ramps.
They're
And
doing the Eliminator from American Gladiators with the music, by the way.
it's the music. And it is
And
the
then they
Gladiators.
joust each other. Yes, and Gladiators are there with them. And then they start jousting each other. And Ramada defeats her. And that's how they get rid of they knock her down and she gets handcuffed and they
Yeah.
take her as they go. But
And
yeah,
it was
yeah.
Siren and Zap were actually the
Yes.
two gladiators that were in that. So it was,
That's correct.
it's the two female gladiators. The music's playing. They're doing the bicycle arm
Mhm.
across the pit. I mean, every bit of it. And that's
By the way, last time I was in Florida, I went to the American Gladiators dinner show.
oh, that would be cool.
Like medieval times and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
We sit there and drank really bad beer, ate really bad food, and watched the American Gladiators dinner show.
I'd do it.
Yeah, it's probably why I'm half brain dead at this point because I watched it so many. But
There's other
so
reasons.
yeah, I like doors. So Charlie's known me for a long time. I've done some really stupid stuff.
That's another
So
work story we'll have to tell one day.
yeah, tell me about it. So Charlie, let's finish up here with Hot Shots Part D.
Okay.
Who did the Leongs last week? You or me?
I did them. So it's your
Okay,
turn to
so
do
I will
Allianz.
start off with the Leongs. By the way, if you're listening to this, we've wanted some kind of sound effect or something for the Leong rating system.
Yeah.
We haven't come up with it yet. So if you guys listen to this and you have an idea, post it in the group. We'd like to know.
We really want a
give it-
sound bite for this.
Yeah, give us some ideas. I've tried to find Leong sound bites. Pretty much everything I've found so far is him dying.
Yeah.
So try to give us an idea, maybe. Anyway, Leongs, I'm going to give it 2.5 Leongs.
Wow.
Well, one's for Rowan Atkinson.
I know that.
He gets his own Leong. And it ended up being better than I thought. Ryan Stiles gets a half Leong. But it ended up being better than I thought. I did laugh a couple times at it, out loud. And I think, honestly, because of how short it is, that helped. It didn't bog down. It
doesn't
feel like
drag.
it drug.
No.
Yeah, it didn't feel like it drug at all. So I'm going to give Hot Shots Part D 2 2.5.
2.5.
Allions. 2.5 Allions.
That is actually, I say, wow. That's because I expected you to go lower originally when we talked about this.
Yeah, I thought this was going to just be a big bag of crap, but it was just a small bag of crap.
No, I knew there was going to be enough in this movie that you were going to enjoy. It was just getting you past that, getting over the hump and going, just sit down, turn your brain off and watch this movie.
Well, I did that thanks to these little cans here.
There you go.
Enjoying tonight.
So my rating on this, as I've said, I love this movie. I watch this movie a lot. It's a comfort movie to me. If I can watch an action movie any day, anytime. There's always one in the shop. But when I want to like laugh and I don't want to watch just another generic, I don't know, I guess I can say, like a dick and fart joke movie, like the Seth Rogens or, as I love the Kevin Smith movies, but even then it's just like, I need something a little bit more than that. This movie gives me action and a comedy that I love. Again, I grew up watching Monty Python. The Holy Grail is another movie that's way up there for me, watching that type of comedy.
That's kind of an action movie in parts.
It's that medieval, so we can kind of call it the sword and sorcery, type aspect of it. But I love that comedy and I've grown up around it. Even the Mel Brooks. I love the Blazing Saddles and the Spaceballs.
Spaceballs the movie.
But they are just as over the top as this movie. This one's a bit more on the parody and silliness.
There's definitely a little more cheese and a little more camp.
Yeah.
But, I mean, Spaceballs definitely,
it does too. I mean, they don't.
It's parody of Star Wars and stuff, essentially.
They don't shy away from that. So,
actually in a bunch of things. Yeah.
Saying that, I give this one 4 Allianz. That is,
you can't give this the same rating as like Delta Force.
Yeah, I can,
dude.
Look,
that's insane.
Okay,
then do you put this on your top 10 movie list? Top 10 action movies you have to watch.
Top 20. Top 20 for sure.
So you can't make it a Force Alliong if it's not in the top 10.
You'd be surprised how many 5s are in my list, sir. We're only on
we haven't done a 5 yet.
We're only on episode 5.
We should have done a 5 Ali Yong movie then on episode 5.
Well, this landed on April Fool's Day. You want me to give it a
This
5 because I can make arguments for 5. But no,
I don't
this is
think so, but
look, there's no limit to how many 5s or how many 4s we like. This movie,
yeah, well, it's subjective. I mean,
to me,
I don't think it's as good as Delta Force though.
for what it is. So look, this movie gave me Navy SEALs at the beginning. It gave me Rambo Part 2, Rambo Part 3. It gave me Predator. It gives
Terminator 2.
there's Terminator 2 at the end that we skipped
Yeah,
over. You're welcome, Pete. Um, it gave us Basic Instinct. It
yeah.
gave us there's actually a scene that's parroting The Godfather during the Lady and the Tramp scene. Lady and the Tramp.
Lone Wolf McQuade.
We get Lone Wolf McQuade. We get several others, and then like I said, they mention RoboCop by name. They mention Total Recall by name. We get Platoon. We get Apocalypse Now. So far, there's not a movie I've named that is not a great movie that I enjoy watching.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Hey,
It
it's
is
your Ali Yongs.
it
It's
is a
your Ali
4.
Yongs, pal.
So
I will not try to disparage your Leongs.
so this actually leads to a very good conversation we've had in the past, and I think it's
Yes.
time we need to talk about this. So we've rated this movie. We have an issue, and that
Well, we have
is
many
we have
issues,
many
but yes.
issues, but I don't think there's a movie that's in the action movie classification that Dan likes that I don't. There is really not an action movie that I can't find enough stuff that I like that
Mm.
I can't go, I really enjoy this movie. Maybe it's a 2.5 or even a 2, but I don't think there's one that I can go, "Oh, this is horrible. I don't wanna watch it." But Dan
Yeah,
says, "I love." That's the difference. I think we can find one we both are kinda like, "Eh,"
yeah.
which why would we be doing an episode about that movie anyway? But for a movie to be Dan comes to me and goes, "Dude, I wanna do this movie. It's like my top 3.5, 4 Alliangs," and he tells me it, and I go, "Well, that movie's dog shit, man. I don't even wanna do it."
I know. I can't. Yeah, I can't.
I don't think there
Uh,
is one.
I don't even think there's one in the modern era. There might be one. It's probably more likely in the modern era. Um,
Maybe.
we've talked a good amount offline about films. You absolutely love this genre of films. You love these so much. I like them, obviously, and I watch them, and I have a lot of nostalgic and fond memories of them. Some of them I absolutely love and adore. But there are, I love comedy, so I'll watch a lot more comedies than I will these necessarily.
Mhm.
But again, yeah, I'm thinking I can't think of one that I really like and you think is horrible.
Right.
There's some that I like that most people probably wouldn't, like Wing Commander, maybe. I mean, that wasn't awful, and some people think it's really bad, which it is pretty bad. Um,
Well, and it's
but
because even a
I
bad
can't.
movie, a lot of times
Yeah.
me and you agree that it's a bad movie.
Oh yeah, like Starship Troopers 2.
That's a bad movie. That's
Oh,
one that
ugh,
I wouldn't even waste an episode on. But we
that
both
was
love
real
Starship
bad.
Troopers. It we
What
how many
what
times do we talk about that movie?
Well, it's a perfect movie.
It is.
What was the one we walked out of?
What did
Didn't
we
we
walk
walk
out
out
of?
of one?
We walked out of Phantom Menace because the screen
Well,
was smaller than my big screen
it
TV.
was a postage stamp. We was it the 13th Warrior we tried to watch?
No, because I like the 13th Warrior.
What was the one? It was a sword and sorcery movie we tried to watch. We got about 45 minutes into it and we both turned it off. We were watching at your house and I was like, this is crap. And the cast was good, but it
Okay,
was horrible.
I
You remember
think
that?
I know the movie you're talking about. Now, we finished watching it. And
Yeah.
here's the issue we're gonna run into. It was, lockdown. with Guy Pearce.
No. I remember that one too.
You
But
remember that one?
this we saw that in the theater.
Was it
This was a
Outlander?
sword. No. I'll have to look it up now. I'll look it up and then bring it up on the next episode because it's driving me nuts now. No, Lockdown we watched and I was like, this is dog crap. You have since seen it
I have
again,
since watched it multiple times again and have now
and now you like it.
not just like it, I now regret ever saying it was a bad movie.
Yeah,
There's
so
so
I'll
much
have
more
to
into it.
watch it again, I guess. But
Yeah, but
I
that's
just remember it being
later because it's
awful.
well, we both did. We both hated that movie when we watched it because it was just not what we expected. I
Yeah.
think when I went back and rewatched it, I had a different mindset. And I then appreciated what it was and what they were trying to achieve. I also figured out that
Well,
it was a Luke Besson movie who did like Fifth Element,
Fifth Element stuff, yeah.
a lot of
Which
those type.
again is a fantastic movie. All right, so here's my question then to the group. All right, everybody, put on the group movies that you really like, but that most people think are not very good, or you have the impression that most people don't think they're very good.
Action movie.
So, action
Action
movies,
movie.
yeah. I don't want to see Howard the Duck or anything on there. So, movies that you think are really good action movies, but again, people dog on them. I mean, I can pull out a handful right now. Punisher, Dolph Lundgren, and
And I like that movie.
yeah, I know.
I like
Well,
them. How long have we had this argument that
yeah, but you're sick in the head. So I just there's got to be some out there. So maybe this will help us figure something out here between us two because I can't think of one, man. I really
no,
can't.
this has been an actual because we know there's going to be movies we both enjoy. And that's
I bet it's a
great.
sci-fi. I bet it's a sci-fi or a sorcery one.
I don't know.
If there's one I can pull, I bet it's either sci-fi or sorcery.
Look, Pete he posted a movie that was a sword and sorcerer. He likes to call it the sword and sandal movies,
Sure.
and it was Hawk the Dragon Slayer or something like that. It was the very first movie they ever reviewed. This was like in the 81. It had Jack Palance. It was
Nice.
so cheesy. I enjoyed every flippin' minute of that movie. I had a smile ear to ear going, this movie is Look, one of the attacks at the end when they incapacitate the evil wizard or something, they literally shoot Silly String. And I messaged Pete going, Silly String of Doom. This movie is fantastic. That is exactly what I sent Pete.
Yeah, I can't think of anything now. I really do kind of want to know now. So people post movies that you really enjoy, action movies of this era that you really enjoy, but most people think are horrible. Please do
Yes.
that for me. I want to
Absolutely.
know. All right,
Absolutely.
Charlie, we have come to the end of the show. And as always, we would like to throw out some thank yous and some attaboys and some thumbs ups and some go check them out.
Yep.
Of course, we want to talk about Sludgecast, our friends over at Sludgecast. Anything monster, stomp down, creature feature, especially the king of monsters herself, Godzilla. Check out Sludgecast. Also, we would like to give a quick shout out to Pete and the folks over at Good Beer, Bad Movie Podcast. Check them out. They've done some pretty bad movies. So check those guys out. They do a good job. The Poster Smash folks. The Poster Smash folks do some fantastic work.
Absolutely.
Sometimes we see stuff and we go, "Hey, what the heck?" It just you wouldn't believe some of the work that they actually do. They're really, really good.
They're very talented over there.
They're very talented, yeah. Ultimate Action Movie Club over at ultimateactionmovies.com. Check them out. Occasionally Charlie writes for them,
Yep.
but he hasn't in a while. He keeps saying he's
Why?
busy. I disagree.
Why you gotta throw me on the
Lazy.
bus like that?
We also want to give a shout out to Mountain Empire Comics in Johnson City, Tennessee, Bristol, Tennessee, Diane and Rob, respectively. Check them out if you're in the area. If you're not, then drive there and check it out, I guess.
Yeah.
sad news coming out of that camp that the annual RobCon has been delayed again this year thanks to
Yep.
the pandemic.
Yep.
It's 2
Postponed
years
till
in a row now.
2022. Yep.
That's crap. What else we want to do here? Oh, obviously subscribe and comment on our podcast wherever you listen to it. You can either like, subscribe, comment, do something. I'm sure that
Share it
helps
out there.
generate numbers.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing, really. If you guys like this show, and we've gotten feedback, and we appreciate every bit of it, obviously. But if you like it, share it with people. Find someone who doesn't listen to it, tie them to a chair with Christmas garland, make them listen to it, then push them down an elevator shaft so that
That works.
Hans will see that. Share it out with people for sure. Maybe you don't think they'd like it. Maybe they will like it. I don't know. I mean, sometimes I like it. Check
Send
us
it-
out on Facebook.
Send it to your friends. Send it to your enemies. We're not picky.
Yeah, I don't care. Piss them off if you want to. Check us out on Facebook. You can check out the Facebook group. Obviously, that's where we like to, as we say, listen to the podcast, join the conversation in the Facebook group. That's where we really love to see and hear from you guys. Let us know what you like. Let us know what you don't like. Let us know what we're doing well, what we're not doing well. If you have a problem with Charlie because you mispronounced your last name, please let him know there on the Facebook group. You can check out Instagram as well. Charlie runs that, does a lot of things out of that, especially for clues for the upcoming episode. Charlie's going to be posting those there as well.
I try to mix it up.
Yeah, he tries. And of course, Pete's favorite part of the show, I think, our email address. gmbampod@gmail.com. Again, that's gmbampod@gmail.com for anything that you want to send us that isn't group appropriate.
One thing I'll add is Sludgecast. We are on the precipice of Godzilla versus Kong.
Yes.
Day before April
yes,
Fool's.
yes.
Sludge and I have our tickets bought. We are doing a review right after we watch it. We're actually going to their studio and trying our hardest to do a spoiler-free
Yeah, it's going to be spoiler. It's gonna have
review
spoilers in it.
of
Yeah,
Godzilla
it's
versus Kong. So be listening for that. It's probably not going to be as long as their normal episodes, but I will be on that episode of the podcast.
And then I will also self-promote myself a little bit. Everyone, give Noka News Network a listen. That's the other podcast that I do with my buddy Ricky. We are also on Podbean, Spotify, and such as well. Give it a listen over there. See what you think. It's definitely different than this, and it is the news that no one cares about. If you think I'm a moron here, just get a load of me over there. Beyond that, I don't really have anything else, Charlie. Actually, I do have something else to say.
War. It's fantastic.
I'm telling you.
I love it.
But I guess for myself here, Dan and Charlie, all the way in Virginia, we'd like to thank everyone for listening to another episode of Give Me Back My Action Movies, the podcast. I got nothing. Charlie, what do you got, buddy?
I'll be back.
I knew you'd say that.
Give Me Back My Action Movies was not recorded in Hollywood in front of a live studio audience.